Imagine for a moment something way beyond what we see with voice assistants today.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Utile. I'm the CEO at Attention Live. Here with my friend Collin from Speechly. Collin did a demo earlier this year. It's like our first event that we did back in April, Project Voice in Chattanooga, that blew my mind. And Otto, your CEO, is going to be doing a demo in like 20 minutes. So I thought, why don't we just do a little walk and show everybody off what's happening here. Maybe we could kind of go through the vendor booth. So we're going to go this way, everybody. Glad to have you with us. And so, Collin, please introduce yourself. For those that don't know who you are, you've been in the industry a long time, but give a little background on your involvement in the voice tech industry, then we can talk a bit about Speechly and your CEO, Otto, and kind of what he'll be doing.
Sounds good. Yeah, so I'm Collin Borns, head of business development at Speechly. Got started in voice technology after college, starting at VaynerMedia, did some investing, venture capital, which is where I met the Speechly team, and joined this year as we start to commercialize all the cool tech that the team's been working on over the last handful of years. So. And Speechly's a developer tool, an API for easily enabling voice experiences in web and mobile, but instead of trying to create this conversational or voice assistant channel, which a lot of us got into voice for, we're more focused on, okay, where can users get value from voice today? And so it's more focused on voice as a feature in web, mobile apps, and focusing on user tasks and getting things done with voice. So.
One of the things that stood out to me when we were having drinks in Chattanooga in April is, hey John, is that, it's so good to see friends here, right?
Yeah, that's so nice.
So is that you could have had abundant opportunities when you're doing VC work in this industry, right? You're around all these amazing companies, and you know, you're sharp, you had the background with Gary Vaynerchuk at VaynerMedia, you bring a lot to the table. And one thing that really stood out to me is, how is it that Speechly was able to recruit you to leave Voice Punch and put all your energy and effort into this startup? So can you talk a bit about your personal subjective attraction to the company as an entrepreneurial, co-founding, early employee in this space?
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty easy, and it's that Speechly is truly creating a new category of voice-enabled experiences, and doing that by giving access to these tools to developers that previously would only be available to big tech companies. But it really comes back to this new model for a voice-enabled experience that captured my attention immediately. So I think we always talk about, we think about voice as a channel. But at the end of the day, voice is a really good interface or another input modality that we have access to. And Speechly really embraced that and thought, okay, how can we actually create experiences that add value with this input modality? Don't necessarily need to rely on conversation yet, but we know users are getting a lot of value from just being able to interact with their voice really efficiently. So when I saw this model that was purely focused on the utility of voice, I'd just never seen something like that before.
I had never seen anything like it before either.
Yeah, and so it was pretty, from a side note, just started getting that bug to actually be at a company. And so the second I met Speechly and the opportunity came around, it was kind of a no-brainer, honestly.
So besides the technology and the attraction to the possibility from the business perspective, you and I have also talked about the leadership. Right. So Otto's going to be doing a demo of your product in 15 minutes or so. And can you just give me some insights into, like, who is Otto? Why were you attracted to work for him as a man? And why should people investigate more Speechly and the people behind Speechly?
Yeah, I think Otto and the whole Speechly founding team is so unique in that they're just very driven by actually making an impact. I think a lot of people started getting interested in voice because of, maybe it was a monetary opportunity or chasing, financial reasons or whatever it might be. It was very clear to me that Speechly had a way bigger mission of, changing user interfaces as we know it. So that was very, very attractive. And I think Otto, from just an individual, he's the type of person that wants to give you tools to succeed, but isn't going to get in your way, And so that was super attractive to me, to actually go in and make impact, learn, and be by somebody with such.
I want to go over here with you, Collin, because there's something beautiful behind the camera. So camera's going to turn around auto-magically right now. And maybe we could wrap up our conversation with So here's what really impacted me about Speechly. I've seen 1,000 demos, or thousands potentially, over my 20-year career in Silicon Valley. There was something really beautiful. And it wasn't just the UI, UX, graphic design. It was like the way the demo felt. It was like the case study that you were laying out. It kind of reminds me of this, right? Like the beauty of DC behind us, and the beauty of the lights, and all the glass. And so can you just maybe wrap our conversation with your perspective on how it is that you and Otto and others on your team have basically taken something very nerdy and geeky and techy and tried to present it in a way that is beautiful, that's led to proof of concept projects, led to prospects becoming customers and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think from that perspective, it's a new, completely new technology, right? So we have, I think, because of big technology companies pouring all these resources into voice, it's given us this opportunity to really push the envelope and explore this industry that previously was very sci-fi before. And so I think that with that freedom, it's allowed us to really, again, just redefine what a voice-enabled experience can be. Yeah. And so I think the reason that you get like that magical moment or whatever is because people really haven't experienced a voice input that can react immediately. We're just not used to that. And so I think that, again, you got to tip the hat to creating this industry from a lot of the big tech companies that legitimized it, but now it's given us this freedom to really explore the best use cases. And so I think that freedom ultimately is what has led to us building a completely new type of way to build a voice-enabled experience. And so, yeah. And
so as we wrap, Otto's about to come on to a demo.
Yeah.
So obviously people that are watching us right now, they can enjoy that live. If they see the archive, they can find, that's the next video after this. How else can they research Speechly? How would they get a hold of your company if they're interested in what you're doing? Like, let's give kind of the final call to action.
Yeah, I would go to speechly.com is definitely the best place to get started, but also check us out on GitHub. You can just search Speechly there as well, and also our documentation, so docs.speechly.com is a good place to check it out. And another note to Otto's presentation, pretty much everything that we've been talking about, like some of these different use cases and things like that, this session's going to be hands-on coding, show you how easily you can add a voice interface to a website in literally 10 minutes. So should be a pretty cool session.
A live demo.
Yes.
A real demo.
Live. We'll be coding it live.
So cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. We're so glad that you're here at the Voice Summit. The Voice Summit wouldn't be the same without Speechly being here, but also sponsoring, so thank you for doing that as well. And not just this event, but I just want to acknowledge you sponsored Terry Fisher and my event, VoiceCon. You've sponsored Bradley Metrock's events with Project Voice. It's companies like Speechly that allow these community events to happen. And so for me, to you, and from us to your team, thank you very much for the support in that way.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we love being a part of this growing, thriving community, and all we want to do is give tools to let people define what the future of voice is going to be. And
I love it.
So yeah, we love being a part of that.
Okay, speechly.com, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back again. Next thing that's happening is the demo from Otto himself, the CEO, and I imagine that you'll be able to enjoy that as much as I will. We'll see you again soon.